Welcome to In the Green Room. I'm Kinga.
And I'm Chet.
This is Martin.
I'm Richard.
And we're finishing Arizona Wine Month, tasting some more local wines, aren't we?
Not
Well,
just local wines.
Cheers.
These are,
No, they're all Arizona wines. Yeah.
I know, but they're all, well, almost all of them are winners.
We're-
You were telling me earlier.
Yes, we're tasting some
Or
winners.
some of them are, that's right.
3 of the wines.
But they're all local, so it
They're
is
all
accurate.
local. They're all Arizona, absolutely.
Well, the first one that we're tasting is a delicious white that I love from Carson Creek's.
Which is a popular Arizona winery. They've been around for quite a while. In fact,
Creek.
Carson Creek, yeah. In fact,
Wait, I'm going to start again.
Solomon-
Because I just misspoke. I said I
Oh
need.
my
No.
God.
Can we start again? I'm sorry. I felt like it didn't sound good. Can we start it again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh my god. It's Carson Creek. I said Creeks. That's so stupid.
Creeks.
I said Creeks.
It's not a big mistake. It's adding an S.
Okay. Well, I don't like it.
Go ahead.
1, 2, 3, go. Welcome to In the Green Room. I'm Kinga.
And I'm Chet.
This is Martin.
This is Richard.
And it's Arizona Wine Month. Yay!
All right.
Cheers.
All month,
Ah,
month of
cheers.
Arizona,
All
month of
month.
March.
Ending it on a high note.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And Richard,
So
you
as
were
a
the
matter,
judge.
so as a matter of fact, last year was the first year that the governor decreed that March would be Arizona Wine Month.
How exciting.
Okay. So
And
right out the
it's a
governor's
year
office.
later, and
Nice.
it's March, and it's again Arizona Wine Month.
So we're putting Arizona
So
on the
is
map
this
for
year
wine.
much bigger than last year?
Bigger in what way?
More wines, more pomp and
No,
circumstance?
well, you know, now one of the things that they do for Arizona Wine Month in February. There's an annual competition for all Arizona wines, or all the ones that are submitted.
Mhm.
It's called the Govenors Cup, and it's run by AZ Central Arizona Republic.
And like I said, you're one of the judges.
And I've been a judge several times. It was last year and again this year. So what happens is we meet as judges in February, and there's like 24 judges, and it takes quite a while because a lot of what is different from year to
24
year is the
judges,
amount
that's
of
a lot.
wine submitted.
Right.
Because every year there's new wineries. I mean, it's really amazing how the industry continues to be dynamic.
And how
There's
many-
dynamic growth here.
Mhm.
How many years does it take usually from them starting to plant their vines to actually having their first bottles go for
Well,
sale? Can it be
2,
a number of
3
years?
Yeah, 3, 4, 5 years.
Wow.
You know,
That's
depends.
quite an
Yeah.
investment before
Oh,
you see
listen,
any
yeah.
type of
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
even
yeah.
product.
Oh, yeah.
Not even return, just a product. That's wild.
So the Governor's Cup was announced on this past Saturday
Oh.
at the Art Link, which is the major art and culture organization in Phoenix. They have their annual gala. And this year, at some point, the Arizona Wine Growers Association
Oh, here's the shirt.
linked up with Art Link to make what am I saying? to announce the winners of the Governor's Cup and all, the whole competition.
How many winners are there?
Well, there's only one winner, only one Governor's Cup. That's the best, but there are different levels of other.
And that was Los Milix,
Yeah,
Rosé,
yeah,
the Sandra.
yeah.
And
So,
we couldn't get that. We were trying to scramble
well,
and get it, but we
hopefully
didn't get
we'll
that.
get Pavle Milich on the show
Milich.
before
There
the
we go.
month's over, and he'll bring that.
But we are tasting his other
Yeah.
rosé. We'll, when we get to that.
So let me
we'll
read
talk
you a
about
short
it.
thing about this, okay? This is from AZ Central. Arizona winemakers in general have taken their rosé wines seriously, and for the first time, one of these offerings, the 2022 Sandras from Los Milix Winery, has been awarded the Governor's Cup for being named the best wine in the state in the AZ Central Arizona Wine Competition 2024. Sandra's Rosé, which we don't have, is a blend of 2 grapes, Petit Verdot and Montepulciano, and 2 white varietals, Vermentino and Petit Manseng. So interesting. 2 reds, 2 whites. Two of them are from France. The other are from Italy, and all 4 grapes grow here beautifully in Arizona.
Interesting.
It's really interesting. So the Growers' Cup for the best red wine went, and we actually have that,
Yay!
to it's 2021, 8 years later, a red wine produced by 1764 Vineyards.
I'll hold that up.
Later. Took them
Do you know where that vineyard's
Yeah.
located?
It's an unconventional mix of Petit Syrah, Sangiovese, and Petit Verdot. So we've got two French grapes and one Italian. And the winemaker is Jules Dixon, co-owner of 1764 and graduate of the Southwest Wine Center at Yavapai College. And incidentally, she's a woman winemaker. We're going to talk
And
about
we're celebrating
that too,
women.
because this
March
is
is
Women's
Women's
Month too,
Month.
so
Woo!
that ties in.
Yay.
The
Strong
Growers Cup
women.
for the best the winemaker, the best dessert wine was the 2019 Petit Verdot dessert wine
Rune.
from Rune.
Mm.
And that's aged 4 years.
And then
I
the
read.
best white wine again went to Los Milix for their 2022
Hannah's.
a blend of Marsanne and Malvasia Bianca, which is the grape that we're tasting here.
I did my homework.
From a different winery. So then there's a whole list here of
Finalists.
best red, best white, rosé, best dessert wine, Governor's Cup finalists, of which there are 12. The way that the judging works is interesting. So there's like usually 6 tables this year, 4 people to a table, and each table, it's totally blind tasting, of course. Each table gets a certain section of wines. You know, my section this year was some whites. It was mostly red blends. And this goes on for several hours, like 2 hours, then you break for
Were
lunch.
you drunk by the time you were finished?
No, you
I'm just
professionals
teasing. I know.
taste
And
and
spit.
spit. Yes.
I know that. I knew that answer.
Yeah.
Richard's a spitter, not a swallower.
Yeah. So after lunch, you come back. During that first time, each group picks 2 wines that they really like, and so that's a total of 12 wines. So after lunch, we get together and everyone tastes all 12 wines, and from those 12 wines are selected the Governor's Cup, the best wine,
The rosé, which was the Sandra,
and then the
Los
one
Milix.
in each category, right?
So are you
wait,
tasting
should we-
these blind, or are you able to see? Do you know who you're
Oh
tasting?
no, they're totally
All
blind. Oh, have to be.
Interesting. Yeah, I
Has
was
to be a
just
blind
curious.
tasting,
Yeah.
That's
So,
the
So I-
question.
should we give our review on this first one that we're trying today?
Well, this was not even submitted to the.
Well,
it
should
wasn't in the
we,
competition.
should we start with Sam Pillsbury, who's waiting for
Well,
us
no,
to
we already
talk-
poured
okay.
another one up.
Okay, so we'll talk about this one first.
Yeah.
Okay, this is just one of my picks. You know, I think everybody that tastes wine has their own ideas of what's their favorite. And I know that Martin and Chet really like white wines, love white wines. And so I brought Carlson Creek. Is this Malvasia? Can you tell us about this one? Now, this is not one of the winners,
Yeah,
but it's a
Malvasia
winner to
Bianca,
me.
which I just mentioned in that other wine is in the Hannah's Los Milix was one of the grapes. So this is a grape originally from Greece, and then it migrated to, like many Grecian grapes, to Italy.
I thought I saw some hairs in there.
Yeah, and so this would be typically found in the northeast part of Italy and some other areas. But it's interesting because this grape, among all the different white grapes that are thriving here in Arizona, this has kind of become the official, white grape of Arizona, because it's such a aromatic grape, and it makes and when it's made with a nice level of acidity, it just pops. It's so popular, and many wineries grow this grape and make this grape. So it's
I noticed a tart pear on the nose. Tart pear.
why you tart pear.
Really? Let me see. I have to have another little
I like
sip.
a
I have
pear
another little
tart.
sip to see.
Just a little.
Because we need to go to our next wine.
No.
So I also want to mention that Robert Carlson, every time I've asked him for,
Definitely get Bartlett pear.
I volunteer for some charities that help children,
Yeah.
abused children, and
Yeah.
kids that need help. And Robert Carlson always was Johnny on the spot, ready to go
No,
to bring me the
they're-
wine.
yeah.
And he even, went he drove like an hour and a half to drop off a
That's
case of
right.
wine to Rachel
Yeah.
to get
Yeah,
it
no,
to me
he's-
before the
he's a great guy.
he cares about kids,
Yeah, his
and
family
he cares about
is-
charities.
He's very active in charity work. And
Very great
and
people.
they-
So
they have
next
a
I
wonderful
want to
winery down in Wilcox.
so cheers
Now
to
let's stand
Carlson.
up. Stand up.
I would
for
give
a
that
minute.
first one
Stand
maybe
up
like
and
an
let's show-
85
let's
out of
show our-
100. It was
Speaking
good.
of Robert Carlson, let's show our
Yeah.
shirts. So this is a shirt designed by Robert Carlson many years ago.
Okay.
It represents the Arizona wine industry.
cool.
So it's the Arizona state flag made up of wine bottles.
And this is
Love
the
it.
back. You
Isn't
want
it
to see the
cool?
back of my
Yeah,
shirt?
it says Carlson Creek. Yeah.
Very nice.
That's great.
So this really,
Great
to me, represents the entire wine industry. It's really a fabulous.
So once
design.
again, it didn't win this year, but it's Arizona wine. It's Arizona Wine Month, and good people.
It's got a little bit of
Family-owned.
sweetness to it.
Wouldn't you say? I taste
Well,
pineapple.
it's a very aromatic grape, so you know you get some of that aromatic in the flavor as well. Those
Okay, I
aromatics.
taste pineapple. Do you guys taste
You
pineapple?
always taste pineapple.
No, I really taste pineapple. And actually, when I purchased this at Carlson Creek,
Good pineapple.
the guy Zach at Carlson Creek that runs the tasting
Yeah.
room today, he said, "Oh, it's very aromatic and fruity," and he said pineapple.
Ah,
He used the
power
word
of suggestion,
Mm-hmm.
And you said, "Yeah, I
Okay,
get
now which one are we tasting?
it." The Los Milks Rosé-itas, not. See, they
Not-
made two
So did-
rosés in 2020.
So did this place in the competition at all? Or?
No.
No, but
I don't think they even entered this one. They entered the Sandras.
their
But
wine.
and it is Arizona wine still.
Well, hold on. It's Arizona wine, but this Los Milks that we're tasting, we couldn't get the Governor's Cup winner, which is the number one, like the best in show. Their rosé, their other rosé, the Sandra won, but we're tasting
The
another.
Itas.
It's still Los
They made
Milks.
two rosés in 2022 with totally different grape varieties.
Mhm.
Okay.
So they
And-
were the winner with their other wine, not this one.
And most of their wines are named after family members.
Ooh, that's great.
But interestingly enough, the Sandras, which won is the Governor's Cup best wine in Arizona for
Los
2024,
Milks, same
is
wine, right?
named after Sandra Day O'Connor.
Which makes
Oh,
sense.
really?
Yes.
I'm not sure why, but when we get Pavle on the show, he can tell you the story about
Pavle
that.
owns the restaurant F&B.
Mm.
Right.
Chet, have you
Okay.
ever been to F&B?
No.
Martin, have you?
I never know.
Oh,
Well, it's certainly worth going
It's
to.
great.
Because the co-owner and his partner, the chef Charlene Badman, was the James Beard Best Chef Southwest Award winner 2019,
Dang.
and the Southwest includes Vegas.
Mhm.
Okay.
Let's go
Okay.
there tonight. Are they
Yeah.
open on Monday?
Huh?
Are they open on Monday? Let's
Wait,
go
so
tonight.
so
No.
it's the letter F and then and B is what the restaurant's
F
called?
and B, like
Okay,
food
cool.
and beverage. Yeah.
Okay. She said it so fast it was
They're
hard to
on
tell
F,
if it was
they're-
one word or not.
F and B. It's
Yeah.
in Old Town Scottsdale. I'm trying to
Hey,
think.
I thought you said F and B, like
F and
It
B.
is
F
F&B.
and B.
Food and beverage, yeah. That F and B.
It kind of makes sense though.
Stung me again. But
That
no,
fucking
no,
bee.
they're nationally and internationally known. They've been around for I don't know how many years now, but you know, he's always been a big advocate for Arizona wines. And when I'll never forget, when they first opened, the first year they were open, they were only open a few months. He decided to do the entire wine list.
All
with
Arizona,
Arizona
wines.
wines,
Did you hear
which
this?
is- which is
F&B is all
unheard of.
Arizona wines.
Now that's changed somewhat.
And how did
but-
you guys not ever go there?
I don't know. You haven't taken me.
I know, I've been there a dozen times. Okay, well, that's surprising.
But
Well, I think it's
not-
because for you, it's kind of far.
Yeah, that is true.
That
It's
I
pretty
think that's
far.
why.
So-
Yeah. 'Cause
This
it's
one is
delicious.
phenomenal.
A
though.
few
Isn't it
months
phenomenal?
after they opened, there is a full-page story in the Wednesday food edition of the New York Times. Okay,
Really?
yes,
Wow.
talking about this restaurant in Scottsdale, Arizona.
That's serving Arizona
Yeah,
wine.
so
Yeah,
they were
F&B.
getting that kind of pop right out of the gate. I mean,
Interesting.
How do we
amazing.
pronounce his first name? Is it Pavla?
Pavle, Pavle,
Pavle Milix.
Milix.
Milix. And that's why this wine
Well,
is
this
called
one,
Milix.
this particular rosé is really nice. It's nice and dry. It's got some nice
all
acidity.
the rosés made in Arizona are dry
Mhm.
rosés.
Okay, so it's Grenache, Malvasia, and Tempranillo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Rosés are often made with just a red grape,
Mhm.
and the color comes from the skins from just a short contact,
Mhm.
or they can be made with a combination of red and white grapes.
And didn't you say that his tasting room in Wilcox is
Stunning.
a architectural marvel?
It is.
Tell us why.
Well,
It's sustainable
because,
and all that.
and if you haven't seen the photos, you Google it because it is. So the story goes that he was in Utah, I think, or Salt Lake City. This is, before the winery was even obviously conceived, but it was in the works. They were thinking about it, and he saw some building somewhere that just blew his mind architecturally.
Wow.
And it turns out that the architects are a husband and wife team of architects whose office is doors away from his restaurant in Scottsdale.
Really?
Yes, so obviously he contacted them, and the rest is history.
Something important. Los
what?
Millix has he has F&B, but he also now has a tasting room, also in Old Town Scottsdale.
Yeah,
Oh, cool. Can I get the bottle and I'll try
Of
a little
course.
bit more?
Yeah.
it's
Is that good?
delightful.
And
rosé.
then something that is important is I think Old Town is starting to become like a Arizona wine tasting mecca, because there's several tasting rooms now.
Absolutely.
Because Millix is very close to the Carlson Creek wine tasting, and then we had Merkin on the show. Was that last week?
Yeah.
Last week, and
Merkin's-
we love Merkin and Caduceus wines, and we love Jim Cunningham, who's the general manager over there. I just noticed Gabe doesn't have a glass. Gabe wanted to try the wines too.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Gabe. So
I smell berries on the nose of this.
okay, let's see. What do we taste here? What do you taste, Martin?
Yeah,
Mild
definitely
berries. They're not like sweet or tart. It's like
Yeah,
mild.
just mild berries. It's it's
Rosé?
very interesting. It's
Sol
got
Arizona.
more of a sweeter nose than it tastes, which is interesting.
What's a good word for sweeter?
Fruit.
Okay, because I said
Fruity.
sweet. I said sweet somewhere at a restaurant. Oh, it was at Merkin actually when I was
Yeah.
right before he came on the show. I used the word sweet, and somebody said, "You mean fruity?
Yeah.
You don't want to say sweet when you're
Sweet
tasting a wine."
means residual sugar. Now, a wine can have the impression
But I
of
think it's sweet.
fruitiness and be bone dry. In other words, there's no residual sugar. Residual sugar is, that the process of fermentation is yeast converting the sugars in grapes to alcohol and CO2. Now, when all that sugar in the grapes is converted to alcohol and CO2, that's a dry wine. Even some table wines, there might have a little bit of residual sugar.
But you wouldn't call this dry,
Yes?
Oh
Yeah, it is.
we
You
saw
would?
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
really?
That's not sweet at all.
No.
I think it is a little.
Well,
No,
again,
It's fruity. We just went over
It's
this.
fruity.
It's
It's
not sweet.
fruity. Okay.
Sweet means there's residual sugar. Now, there are some table wines that may have a touch of residual sugar, but, depending on the acidity in that wine, you may not notice it,
Because I know we often have Sam Pillsbury, who's one of our favorite Arizona wine owners. We love his humor and his just everything about Sam Pillsbury, and his wines are fantastic. And that's one of the next wines we're going to be tasting, because this one,
Now,
a
yeah.
gold.
It did gold medal win. There was a lot
Gold
of
medal.
gold medal winners this year, and a lot of silver medal. And
This is
bronze.
gold.
So a lot of wines.
And Sam
medaled.
Pillsbury's waiting to talk to us. We're supposed to call him shortly. He's ready to pick up his phone and talk to us. So
Fantastic.
Pick
as
up
soon as
the
we-
phone.
as soon as we get this, here, let's call him. Let's see here. Let's go to Sam.
So this
All right.
is the 2021 Grenache Reserve from Pillsbury Wine Company.
Oh yeah, let me get it.
I like Sam's Grenache. That's for sure.
Yeah, I like Grenache
Yeah,
in
it's-
general,
yeah,
and
I'm with
Grenache
ya.
is another grape that is just
Okay, we're calling Sam.
thriving here in Arizona.
What's it? Hi Sam.
Sammy,
You're
Hey,
here
Sam.
at the show. where should I put the phone?
Right next to Mike.
Yep,
Like that?
at the bottom.
At the bottom.
There you go.
Okay, Sam, you're here on the show with us. We're tasting your wine. Is the next wine? Everybody say hi.
hi Sam.
Hey.
Hi everybody. Hi, how are ya?
Great. We're
Well-
drinking your Grenache.
Oh, so delicious.
Grenache Reserve, and we are celebrating Arizona Wine Month, and you are literally you're my favorite Arizona wine vintner.
Oh, you obviously have excellent taste, my dear.
Chet,
Yeah, we love your wines and you. You're a great guy, and we love your passion for the work you do. So it shows in your wines for sure.
okay, I'm about to sip it. I haven't started sipping mine yet because Richard just poured it.
But just notice first of all the color of this.
Okay,
It's
let's
a
look at
little
the
bit
color.
lighter, right? Which is not unusual for Grenache.
I love
Mhm.
that.
It's not
Wow.
considered
There's a lot of flavor
This
here.
is red
Just
fruit.
because
Yeah,
it's lighter doesn't mean it
Yeah,
doesn't have
this is-
packed with flavor.
Grenache is usually called red fruit as
Mhm.
opposed to the darker fruit.
So,
Right.
so you won the gold. Tell us how you did it.
No, I won best of class. I mean, it was the best Grenache entered in the whole competition.
Yeah.
It wasn't even I don't know, maybe it was a gold. You know what? I want to tell you something. I haven't even seen the results yet, so I don't even know.
Well, Richard knows. I think Richard said it was gold.
The gold medal, yeah.
Richard
Well,
keeps
that's a
talking
win
about.
last time I checked. Last time I watched the Olympics, that's
Well, wait a
first
minute.
place.
I'll tell you in a minute. I got it
Okay,
right
he's
here.
looking
I'm
it up
reading
again.
right
He's
now.
looking at. So tell us.
Yes, best of class Grenache.
Best of
also.
class Grenache.
Gold medal, best of class in the Grenache category.
Okay, let's repeat that. Gold. It's gold. You're gold. You're golden.
Well, best of class is even better than a gold. It means
Yeah.
it's the best one entered. I mean,
Yeah.
that's really good to have. I mean, better than best. Well, see, better than class is even better than a double gold. I mean, it's whatever. It depends. Listen, here's what's so funny about these results. I only enter two competitions. I enter the San Francisco Chronicle, which is the United States' biggest, most prestigious competition, and I enter my local one because I'm supporting our local wine business. And every year, my results from those two competitions are almost opposite. I'll get nothing for a wine, like not even a bronze for a wine in one competition, and then I get a double gold for the same wine in the other. It is hysterical. So you really take these things with a grain of salt.
Well, I love that you just said that because I think that everybody has a different taste for what they like, and it depends on
That's right.
what
That's
judge is tasting it. And
Yep.
you know, I might love something,
That is
and somebody else might be like, that's not my favorite. So I love what you're saying. It's so true.
What I do is I aim for a clean, what I metaphorically could call a clean style. I don't want my wines to be cloying in the palate, to clutter your palate up. Because if you put a piece of barbecued salmon or grilled steak in your mouth, and you've got fish oil and fat and grease and mesquite and everything in your mouth, you want to refresh your palate. You don't want to add oak and butter and sugar. And, I mean, so basically, it's a food style of wine making that we do, and that Grenache is a perfect example of it. It's got a lovely fragrant nose. It's quite spicy, but it's not heavy.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
very spicy.
exactly.
I love the spice in it.
Yeah, and very refreshing. So it's just a style that I've chosen to make, and how I care about it.
So what would you pair this with, Sam?
Oh, I don't know.
It's so
I mean,
good.
it depends on.
Richard, what would you pair this with?
Barbecued salmon, he just said it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. But you've got to try different things, because another thing is the pairing rules are not simple. They're very complex, because it depends. Like a restaurant will often say to me, what they'll send me a menu and say, what wines do you want to pair with this fish dish? And I'll say, well, how much cumin is in there? You really just have to taste, and when you actually trial, you get really interesting results, sometimes quite surprising. But I would say nothing. It could actually handle quite heavy food. There's this thing that people they do food and wine pairings, and they call them complementary, where they make them sort of like each other. So, if you have a Napa Valley cabbage, you have barbecued steak. Well, sometimes the exact opposite works better, and that's it's you don't want two heavy things in your mouth at the same time. It'll be like
Exactly.
Having chocolate and peanut
What's
butter.
more important is
That sounds
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah. What's more important is structure
Okay,
and
tell
balance.
us what you mean about
The
that.
structure doesn't necessarily mean it's heavy. It's just the way the wine is structured and balanced. So this wine is beautifully structured and balanced. It's a lighter style wine, but it's got good acidity, a touch of tannin in the finish. It's nuanced. It's got these flavors, and it doesn't have to be, like he's saying, a big wine. It's got structure. The structure is what makes a wine
I picture
food
this
friendly.
I picture this.
It's also bright rather than intense.
Yes,
you know?
exactly. This one, and that's part of structure too, brightness.
So Chet pairs it with what?
I was gonna say I think it would pair well with most seafood dishes. Like,
I was going to say sea bass. I would eat this absolutely with sea bass.
or like sand dabs, anything that's like kind of like that mild flaky fish. Oh,
Hello. Is that me?
I dropped it.
Well, what about you, Martin? What would you pair this with?
I'd have to go. I just made a tri-tip this weekend, and I think this would go.
There you
really
go,
nice.
brother.
I think so
Yeah.
too.
Reheating
I think
that
so too.
tonight, and might try it.
Well, you've come a long way,
Come a long
Sam,
way, baby.
at Pillsbury. We are very excited for all your success, and I think that everybody in Arizona needs to be trying this wine because it's
pretty
so
good.
delicious. Everybody needs to.
It has a lot of character.
Absolutely, character's a good one.
Just like Sam.
I know.
It's interesting how
Thank you.
winemakers and their wines can have similar personalities.
That's right.
Of course.
What was the actual name of the contest that this was best in class?
This is the Arizona Governor's Cup
Arizona Governor's Cup, and he won best in class for the Grenache.
for Grenache. Yes.
For Grenache, yes.
So of all the
Okay.
Grenaches that were submitted, this is the best of all the
Mhm.
Grenaches submitted.
Yes, I understand that.
Well, thanks for spending some time with us, Sam.
I'm working at the vineyard. I'm at the winery right now, and I'm really busy. So thanks for calling me.
We love you.
I gotta go. Love you too. Take
All
care.
We
right.
love you. Thank
Thanks,
you so
Sam.
much.
Get back to work.
Bye.
Bye.
We forgot to ask him, where can people go to buy this? Is this going to be at Total Wine or not?
Well,
It may be.
It's one of their smaller run batches, I think.
that
Yeah,
was a
maybe,
good
yeah.
question because I did go to a few stores to try to get it.
But you can find Pillsbury wines, some of their wines at Total Wine.
Total
and
Wine,
then there's a few other,
AJ's,
yeah.
My guess is if you want the good stuff, you're gonna have to go to the tasting room. Right?
Sometimes that's
Exactly,
the case. Yeah,
exactly.
Either down all the way down to Wilcox, but easier just to go up to the beautiful tasting house that they have up there. This incredible home that was converted.
Mhm.
That's a great thing, Chet, to do on a
in
date.
Cottonwood.
That's a great thing to do on
Cottonwood
a
is
date.
really up. It's so. I used to live up there. Maybe I don't know. I don't even want to. I can't remember when I was living in there. It was the 80s or early 90s, and it was nothing up there. And
Well,
now it's just.
especially
It's all
in
wineries
the
and
Old Town
tasting
area,
rooms.
which is
Mhm.
where the city hall
Restaurants.
is. Before all this started, I never even knew about it. If I drive to Jerome, I drive, they put in that highway that
Mhm.
circumvented.
Yeah.
And so you never even got down to that Old Town. And my understanding, it was quite a sketchy area.
Oh, it was
where you
very
didn't- You didn't
sketchy
want
when
to
I
go
lived
there
up
after
there.
dark,
Yeah, for sure.
And now it's wine tasting rooms and hotels and restaurants. And,
Oh yeah, and
it's
fun little bars.
talk
and
about-
live music.
Talk about an economic reversal
Mhm.
because of wine.
Yeah.
Yay.
Bingo.
Cheers. Oh, I have nothing in here.
Well, it's also in that Verde Valley is also
Yeah.
a perfect
Here,
area
hold on,
to
Mike.
grow cannabis and hemp, and I think
Oh.
that's also help fuel jobs and
Sure.
construction
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and some other things. So it's
We have one more, don't
it's
forget.
coming. Yeah. It's really coming together as kind of an economic hub of Arizona, which usually Phoenix and Tucson have really been known for, but we're definitely seeing more and more. I have a winemaker friend who came to Arizona for vacation and went up there, and he was floored. He said there are more people in Cottonwood than there are in Sonoma Valley tasting wine right now. Like
That's amazing.
Is it
Yeah.
the guy, you're from
That's
Mercury?
sick.
yeah.
Is it Brad? Okay.
So we've been talking about how to bring him back to Arizona, because Arizona is definitely
It's on the map
it's
for wine.
popping.
Yep,
It is
it's on the map for
popping
wine.
Every year it gets bigger.
So,
It's just-
Richard, I just noticed there's something on your nose.
Are you being serious? Wait, if
Wait,
anything, that's alarming that you're.
just put that on.
That's alarming. That's alarming that your vision is that bad. If you really just noticed that,
I'm just kidding.
This is
I'm
a
just kidding.
fashion statement.
But I wanted to bring it up because
You're more blonde than a
Arizona is
T-Rex,
so amazing
if
for
you
wine,
couldn't
but we
see
also
that.
have the sun, and the sun is so
Can't
great.
grow wine without sun, sweetheart.
That's right.
Yeah.
But also we have to cover up because we have a lot of sun,
Yeah,
And-
so I'm covering up just part of my face with this Band-Aid.
I know because Richard had a big chunk of cancer taken
Well,
out
let's
of his.
not say big chunk. Now,
Well,
let's not get
they had to
carried
dig
away.
down
I
deep,
did
man.
have
He
a
almost
basal,
died.
I have a basal cell.
So you were so
carcinoma.
blind you just hadn't seen it yet, and then you
No.
happened to see it, and then you
Removed
wanted to bring
last
this up.
I wanted to bring it up too because you never wear
And
sunblock.
I'm gonna and it's an open sore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, they did Mohs surgery. You take a slice and they put it in the microscope and look at it, and they
That sounds like
come
fun.
back and say, "Oh, you're good," or say, "No, we
Mhm.
need to take another slice." I only went 2 slices, and it was good to go. But it was fun. But
I have
this-
2 friends that recently had that same situation where they're
So
slicing
it's very
off their
common.
face.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I went to this big gala on Saturday night at Art Link, and it's just everybody dresses, and it's kind of fun. I said, "Man, I'm not going to wear a plain-looking Band-Aid." So I went looking to CVS. I said, "There's got to be some colored Band-Aids." And sure enough, CVS had these Band-Aids that they hired an artist to do designs for.
Perfect.
Voila!
Voila. It's a work of art and it's working.
It's a fashion statement.
And it matches your Arizona wine
fashion
shirt.
statement of
There we
nothing if
go.
not fashionable.
It matches your shirt
Yes,
too.
it
So that's
does.
perfect. All right, so this Sam Pillsbury wine is delicious.
I love this Grenache. I love
Yeah,
the
I
style
can see
of it.
why it won. I mean,
This
it's,
is
Yeah.
almost. I
It's amazing.
compared this to a Pinot Noir just in its weight. It's most
Mhm.
Pinot Noirs are lighter like this. This
Yeah.
has the kind of structure and weight of a Pinot Noir. Some Pinot Noirs are heavier, but it's delightful.
Every one of his wines I love.
yeah, I would
absolutely
put
love his wines.
this up against most non-Russian River Pinots. That's my favorite Pinot, but this is
Well,
given.
this is
Cheers.
Pinot.
Yeah.
Cheers.
But
Russian
it's
River.
close, right?
Russian River is, one of the best areas in the world for Pinot Noir, no question
Mm-hmm.
about it. I've had many of them.
But this is pretty tasty,
Now,
and I
you-
agree. It has a Pinot-esque.
Mhm.
So why would you call this why would you say it's similar to Pinot?
Not in the flavor, but just in the weight, in the style of it. Lighter,
The color.
the color,
Lighter.
and
And what's a technical term for that?
weight.
The weight? Is that okay? Is that the weight? The weight. Or what about the balance or the structure or
Well,
the
that's all part
body.
of it. Balance, structures, all about how do I, you can judge a wine just
Mhm.
on structure and balance alone.
Mhm.
You don't have to describe any flavors. To me, that's the most important thing is structure and balance in a wine.
Mhm.
Without any noticeable flaws, but just structure and balance, and that's
So it says
a
red-
tactile.
On here it says red candy nose. I taste that now that I read that. I do taste that.
A red candy nose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Rudolph.
But it's
nose.
bone dry. It
Yeah.
says it's bone
I
dry.
smell more Blitzen, but whatever.
Yeah. I can't wait to try this one. This is the one I'm waiting for right here. And this is
This is red meats. Try it with red meats,
yeah.
grilled
What he
salmon,
said.
and just served cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would chill this a little bit
Tried
for
to.
sure.
Yep.
Only 148 cases made.
Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
It's that small?
Well, it's the Arizona wine industry is made up of mostly small family-owned wineries. Nobody's making 1 million bottles here.
Well, and that's
No.
why the wines have so much character because they're not
That's
mass
part of
produced.
it.
Well, right.
They're not mass
They're not
produced.
designed
They're
in a library.
They're not
in a lab.
manufactured wines.
Yeah, it's
Which
like
is a
it's
big
like
difference.
boutique small
And
batch.
I hope we never get to the point where we're making manufactured wines.
I hope. Yes.
I think
I agree.
I do think it's very
Yeah, let
complex.
California have all the manufactured
Yeah,
wine.
yeah.
We don't need any of that. We don't have
No.
enough water.
No.
Well, it's one of those
Exactly.
things where it's like a double-edged sword. Like we'd be happy for one of our favorite Arizona vineyards to become that level of successful,
Mhm.
but it's also hard to maintain that same level of character and quality when you go to a bigger operation. So
It is.
it's just like when you see
Good
a musician go from being like very underground to being mainstream, and then all of a sudden they're selling out big arenas and stuff. It's like you're happy for their success, but then you hope they stay true to their original, formula that
Yeah.
made them popular in the first place.
Well, traditionally, wine is an expression of the vineyard.
Mhm.
It's called terroir. The entire the
I'm going to quiz
soil-
chat. What does terroir mean? We've done so many shows.
It's basically
The soil.
But no, it goes.
Even
It actually
big.
goes far beyond that. It's like the entire character of the ecology of where the vineyard is from.
Yes, including
Yeah, the weather. Yeah,
And there
so
are
it's
some
you were
factors-
wrong. It wasn't just
Yeah,
the
there are
soil.
So it's not just the soil.
No, there's a
and
ton
that?
of factors
more
that
than
make up that terroir.
And the interesting thing
you're
about
very wrong
terroir
and
is
trying to
that
act like a
it's
know-it-all.
not static. it can change from year to year because of the weather patterns, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And even in a single vineyard, you're going to have micro terroirs around that vineyard where the soil might be a little different, So
Caused by like little
real wine,
microclimates.
what I call
right?
real
Mhm.
wine, traditionally wine is an expression of that vineyard.
But why would a vintner only make 148 cases? That's so
Well,
small.
Limited number of
Because the-
grapes.
I better get on the
Well,
phone. I need to call him right now and
Mercury,
say,
that's pretty
I want a couple
standard
cases.
for mercury wine.
Yeah, that's-
even in
Is it?
California.
Is it?
100 to 150
Yeah.
cases
Oh, really? Okay.
of each one. I mean, for Arizona, that's a lot of grapes. I mean, I can't remember how many acres it takes to just fill one barrel. But
Well,
it's a
Sam
lot.
has, I think, about he owns 100 acres. I think he's got 30 under vine, maybe a little bit more. And he sells some grapes too to other wineries.
So what does this cost? Do you know? Because he
I
gave this to
don't.
me. I don't know what it costs.
I don't know offhand.
Should we call him back and ask him?
No.
He should
No,
raise the
he's
price
busy.
now that it won that competition. I mean,
Oh.
Oh, I'm
Okay,
sure.
let's
oh
find out.
yeah,
He's
I'm sure it's
busy.
gonna go up
Don't
50%.
People
I just
can-
want to ask him what it costs.
No,
People
that's
alone.
rude. He already said he had to go. Come on.
Jeez.
Okay,
Have some-
Yeah.
Okay.
He's already nice to call us while he's busy.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's over $40.
That's it?
I don't know. It's
should be
over
more.
40.
I would guess it's like a $60.
Sam
bottle.
Pillsbury
Could
wine
be
is very
50s.
affordable. Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
probably, and with the gold, it's probably going to be 50 or 60.
Yeah.
With,
It's
for
up
the
there.
nice wine.
I agree with you. I think he should price his
It's up
wines
there.
more. I think they are underpriced compared to a lot of the other Arizona wines. They're
Right.
delicious too,
Mm-hmm.
but they're a lot higher. Like not, Merkin wines.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to purchase their wines, a lot of them are in their, they're
Well,
a
this-
little more expensive.
Well, not the Merkin per se, but the Caduceus,
Yes,
definitely,
Mhm.
and well worth it.
well worth
My
it,
opinion.
absolutely.
Mhm.
But this is well worth it. Sam, raise your prices. Okay, so what are we drinking now?
So this is the last.
Oh, this is the winner.
This
is the winner.
is one of the winners.
Okay, tell us about this,
This was best red wine. So this is a winery, fairly new winery, just a few years old.
Is it that
Yeah,
new?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. 1764 is the vineyard. They're down in Cochise County, where Sam's is, and so this is a really interesting blend of 40% Petite Syrah, which is a grape you would find in southern France.
Petite Syrah, Chet. did you hear that?
30% Sangiovese, which is
Sangiovese.
the most popular grape in Italy,
Mm-hmm.
and 30% Petit Verdot, which you would also find in France, but in the Bordeaux region. It's one of the Bordeaux grapes.
Bordeaux?
Yeah.
Okay, and let's. Who is the winemaker? Is this the one that has Jules
This
Dixon?
is Jules Dixon.
Jules Dixon. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I did my
She's a
homework. Jules Dixon is the winemaker, and she's
She's,
also she's that co-owner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Jules Dixon, and it's Women Month. Yay, celebrating
So yeah, I
women.
just looked it up on Sam's Pillsbury Wine website. The Grenache is 42 right now.
Oh, thank
There
you.
you go.
Hopefully he ups that price though after it won that gold or that best in class. Even better than a gold, best in class.
So best in
The
class,
$42
Sam
for
Pillsbury,
that's
$42.
That's a steal.
Very affordable.
Yeah, very affordable, almost free. Okay, let's
And
go
guess,
to
oh,
this.
wow, 12.
Wow, this has got quite a nose.
Yeah, now this is dark fruit.
Oh, wow.
Compared to the Grenache, this is black fruit.
Heavier.
So what fruit
Yeah.
would it be? What does it taste like?
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay. All right, I'll tell you quickly.
Oh, gorgeous! Wow.
Oh my gosh.
So you're getting more, blackberry,
Blueberry.
Wow, it's
Blueberry.
amazing you said blackberry. That's the first one
blackberry,
that came to
currant,
mind.
black
I taste
currant.
blackberry. Definitely black currant. I mean,
this
not
is
black
the
currant.
darker fruit.
Blackberry.
The red fruits are like strawberry, cherry,
Mhm.
that kind of. This is darker fruits.
Mm-hmm.
What do you taste?
Definitely getting the blackberry.
I taste licorice.
Red licorice or black?
Black.
Licorice?
Black licorice.
I haven't got that yet.
That would be serious anise.
I taste black licorice. Mm.
Yeah, it's good.
That's gorgeous. And interestingly enough, let's talk about alcohol levels.
But I'm gonna go back to what you taste because you're the expert. Like I know
I'm not the expert in what I
He's a
what you
professional
taste.
drinker. That's different.
I'm
What
not
do
the
you
expert
taste?
in what you I just told you.
Tell me again.
Blackberry,
Okay, I taste that.
black currant,
Yes.
those kind of things. That's what this reminds me of. And I'm just not that interested. It's not that I'm not interested.
But I am.
I know, but I don't pick apart a wine with 10 different things I taste. I could care less.
If it tastes good
You said
or
you
not.
taste
Well, no,
licorice? You said you taste
For
licorice?
me,
Yes.
it's more about the structure and balance. And I don't, picking out all the flavors is not as important to me as the structure and balance of a wine and how it interacts with food and my palate.
Balance.
I got
You
one
were
for
saying
you.
there's a technical-
I get a little tobacco.
You were saying there's a
Little sweet
technical
tobacco.
term for
On the
licorice?
nose.
Tobacco?
Yes.
Okay,
Anise.
tobacco.
Interesting.
Or
Tobacco.
fennel.
Okay, I agree with him.
He said there's a technical term for licorice taste.
Well,
So you-
Anise.
Anise, yeah.
Anise,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
I taste cherry and chocolate.
Cherry and chocolate covered
I
cherries.
don't get chocolate. I don't get. Well, I can see the cherry,
Well, it says it on the
like a
bottle.
little tart cherry.
Oh, well, see. it
Oh, you're
says
trying
it on
to
the
cheat.
bottle.
It says it on the bottle.
Wow, that's cheating.
Okay, it's not cheating. Okay,
That's
hold on.
cheating. We're
It
supposed to be
says
doing what we taste, not
A
what the bottle
balanced
tells us.
forward
to.
wine
Boo.
with cherries,
Yeah, I definitely got some
chocolate,
tobacco on the nose.
dark
which I
spices,
like.
and finishes
Yeah.
with mild tannins.
But
So,
see what happens is
cherry,
that
chocolate.
that's the flavors that he put down when he bottled it. As it sits in the bottle.
Oh, yeah.
These wines.
But I taste it once I read it.
The
I
flavors
definitely
evolve.
Yeah.
taste it. No, I taste that. I taste the cherry. I taste the chocolate.
I don't taste the chocolate.
I taste the
That's just
spicy
you.
fruits.
You're the only one that tastes that.
Well, the bottle says it, so someone tasted it.
Somebody tasted it at some
Well,
point.
again, it's
Someone
a
tasted
totally
it.
subjective experience.
Gabe, do you want to try this second wine?
Sure, in a second.
Well, you don't have to down that one. We can give you another glass.
Okay.
If Richard has another glass for you. And
Mm.
this one is
just,
outstanding. I can see that it
No,
won.
no, I'm good.
You can dunk that
Mm.
if you don't want to finish that. Dump it.
Oh,
in
no,
there.
he just want to dump it.
Well, then drink it.
Yeah, I'll finish it.
You finish it.
Kinga does not believe
No way.
in dumping wine.
I don't. It's very expensive wine here. These aren't $20 bottles of wine. They're all way more expensive.
If you have to drive, we believe in dumping your wine.
Well, that's true. That's very true. And for
But none of us are
tasting,
driving.
for tasting for
I'm driving.
competition, you
I'm not.
You
How'd you
could.
get here?
Martin picked me up.
Well, he's driving.
I'm driving.
Yeah.
Well, that's why Richard's
dumping.
dumping his wine.
And that's why he was too.
Professionals taste and spit.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
Taste and
Well, when you're
spit,
tasting
taste
30,
and
40, 50
spit.
different wines during a day, you can't, right? There's just no way. You'd be hammered by the time.
Well,
you
this
get
is
to the end.
when people go
Can we sing
wine
a song?
tasting to Napa or wherever, and they spend a day or the afternoon going to wineries,
Mhm.
and then they go to 3-4 wineries, and they think they have to drink every single
Check,
drop they're
you pour
giving,
for
and they
Gabe.
get blasted,
Gabe is ready.
and then they get in trouble.
Yep.
But wineries will tell you, please taste and spit.
Mhm.
It's about the experience of the wine. It's not about getting drunk.
Right.
Of course not. So let's go on
But-
to, we all love this wine and they won. Were you one of the judges that picked this?
Perhaps.
How do you
Because-
not know that?
Well,
It's a blind
of course,
taste.
it's a blind tasting.
doesn't
Can't you
know
remember
anything.
what you tasted?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Are you kidding me? I tasted like at least 50 wines
Oh my goodness. Okay.
that day.
Oh wow, that's a lot of wines to taste.
That's a lot. Yeah. It's
But
Okay.
this
That's a-
is a red blend. I
Mhm.
will tell you that one of the categories of wine that my table was tasting were red blends, and there were very many of them. So it's altogether possible that I tasted this and probably gave it a gold medal. Who knows? I have no idea.
Okay, I'm gonna test Martin and Chet. Here's a test. What are the 3 varieties that make up this wine? I'm tasting. If you listened,
Petite Syrah was one of
good
them.
job. 1.
Petit Verdot.
That's 2. What's the third one? The winner is. It's in Italy. It's a grape in Italy. Sangiovese.
Thank you. Sangiovese.
So you each got 1-1.
Nice.
Okay. So
Needs the restroom real quick.
That's gorgeous.
Isn't it?
Beautiful
It's
wine.
incredible.
You know, it just amazes me how good the wines are that are being made here now. And I've been tasting Arizona wines for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They've come a long way.
Yeah.
They have come a long way.
And okay, so I do want to say I have a lot of friends that haven't tried Arizona wines, and when I say to them, "You really should try the Arizona wines," and they only tell me, "Okay, I will, but I think they're too expensive." Why?
That's ridiculous.
$42 for that Grenache?
Oh my God.
That's
reasonable.
not too. That's
No,
very
no.
reasonable.
Listen,
Very reasonable.
listen.
You can't get a good wine like that for under
First of all-
65 in Sonoma,
First
and
of
probably
all,
more expensive in
like
Napa.
I said, these are mostly small family-owned wineries. They got to charge a certain amount.
I agree.
Right.
But
I don't think
also,
they're
if you
overpriced, but why are
compare
people
these,
saying that?
if you compare these to California wines,
Mhm.
Okay.
you know, they're no more expensive.
No.
Yeah. 'Cause these-
I would absolutely agree. I would say that the Sonoma wines are probably 20 to 30% more expensive. Napa wines, I mean, to get a good Pinot out of Napa, you're talking
Oh,
probably
yeah.
$75.
Yeah.
So I do agree with the pricing. I think Sam Pillsbury should raise his prices, but how do I convince my friends that do spend money on wine, that can afford these wines, to spend the money?
Shame them.
Yeah. And here's the thing, you know,
I like
If you
that.
can't afford
people have this
$42.
preconceived notion that, you
I
know,
like it.
how can we make good wines in Arizona? Well, get over it. We do.
Mhm.
And it's internationally recognized,
Thank you.
you know.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. People will tend to, when they taste these wines first, they will tend to compare them to California wines,
Mhm.
which I understand, but it's really a mistake because what the Arizona wine industry is doing is they're developing their own flavor profiles. Because they are expressing the terroir
Mhm.
here in Arizona.
Is it kind of like comparing?
This is the beauty of grapes. You
Mhm.
grow a grape in one terroir, and you grow up in another. They're different.
Mhm.
Well, is it kind of like comparing country music to rock versus
No,
jazz
No.
versus classical?
not really.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Mm-hmm.
Well, don't you
I
think
can
every
see where you
region is
can-
totally different?
I can see where you can draw a comparison of
Thank
you
you.
know different
Thanks,
people
Martin.
like different music, different people like different
Yes.
thought processes. Just like same thing with art. So yeah, as an art form, absolutely. I think
Okay.
there is
See?
Well-
and everyone's tastes are different. You know. Something might score a 92 in the Wine Spectator, and you try it and you don't like it. I mean, that's okay.
First
There's
of
nothing wrong
all,
with that.
California wines.
Exactly.
This is changing, but California wines tend to be higher alcohol, more concentrated fruit, kind of,
Mhm.
you know, forward. And this is a style
From the
that
smaller
became-
wines, right?
Yeah, this is a style that became very popular starting
Yeah,
back.
this
in,
one I feel like is very closest to what California wines could be.
But check the alcohol on this; it's less than 13%.
Mm-hmm.
And what is California wine?
This one Cal would be at least 14.5.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a big difference?
Yes,
Really?
yeah,
Why is that 1% so much?
1.5%. Oh, because
Why is
when
that so big?
Because of that, then the alcohol tends to take over.
Mm-hmm.
The
Okay,
style
I
of
didn't
wine.
know
When,
that.
when you have a big fruity wine with higher
That's important.
alcohol,
Chet missed that. So we're talking
they're
about-
not as nuanced as a wine like this,
Mhm.
generally speaking.
Okay, so we have to.
And nuance is complexity. Now, you know,
We're talking
this
about
is
how
generally speaking,
this wine is only 13% alcohol,
less than.
less than, and the California wines
But
are
guess
like
what?
14 and a half.
What would you guess the alcohol in this wine, Sam's wine, was?
The Grenache, probably
Lighter.
12.5.
Huh?
13.
13.
14.3.
Yeah.
Pour some more for me,
So,
baby.
so it's not, you know, it can be a little deceiving.
Mhm.
Higher, but this doesn't taste like,
Mm.
because it doesn't have that punch of big fruit and, you
Right,
know, and
right.
often alcohol, wines, the alcohol will overwhelm the fruit and it'll
Mhm.
have a hot taste in your mouth,
Right,
a hot
right.
sensation.
And the Pillsbury was my favorite of the day, personally.
Well, all
That's
right.
pretty
then.
good.
My favorite of the day, Pillsbury.
Same here. Yeah.
Pillsbury wins. Woo!
I don't have favorites. These are all lovely wines in their own.
They're
right,
all amazing.
in their own right.
All
Yeah.
these wines are amazing. But if I was the judge right now and I had to pick best in show, it'd be this.
Yeah, but
Sam Pillsbury.
you're already predisposed to picking. If we were blind tasting these, it might be different.
That would be.
That would be a little
interesting.
different.
Yes.
Well, also, if I met Jules Dixon and she came on the show
Yeah, right.
and became friends,
Then you need her wine.
or Pavle,
You're basically admitting
yeah.
that you have bias.
or
It's
Pavle,
natural.
Pavle Milix.
Yes.
If we had him on and I became, but Sam Pillsbury.
Oh no,
is
I'm
so
trying to
lovable.
judge purely
I know.
based off of the taste and character and like uniqueness. I think that's the winner
Listen,
in my
it's all,
opinion.
you know.
They're all amazing though. I was very impressed.
You can listen. They've done experiments where they
What's your
take a
favorite?
bottle of
Oh, yeah.
that's a well-known, very expensive wine, right? And they put some plonk in there, and they pour it for people, and people are, oh, that is so good. I'm serious. It's a very psychological
Well, there's a
thing.
name for that. What is that called? That's called
deceit.
No, no.
It's ironic you're saying this because I just
Placebo.
went to a bar in California this last weekend,
Yeah.
and they were doing that with the Don Julio. I drink
really?
Don Julio all the time. It's a very specific
Yeah, yeah.
tequila taste. It's like one of the smoothest ones. And in this club, it was more expensive to get the Don Julio. It was like a $25 drink. And yeah, I literally could not drink it because it was 100%. They poured something else in there. It was not real Don Julio. Because
yeah.
real Don Julio with a splash of pineapple like that,
Now
it's
that's
amazing.
deceit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but it
I'm
was
talking
frustrating though
about in a
because
psychological experiment where they've done this with people.
placebo. It's called placebo.
Huh?
Do you know what that is?
Yes.
Placebos were like
The
Yeah.
placebo effect.
well, that's what I'm saying though is that if
Look it
you
up.
are basically really thinking of what the taste of the original material is like, you won't fall for the placebo effect because the bartender poured it out of a Don Julio bottle. But I could tell immediately this is not Don Julio.
Yeah.
It tasted like plastic or something terrible. It was
Nasty.
yeah,
well, but it's
that's
smart
illegal.
because
yeah.
it's smart because then
You
maybe
would have
that
been, justified in taking out your sidearm and,
That's a true
Well,
Arizona right
but,
there.
if you were, I mean, maybe that bartender took a little of that and put some cheap stuff in.
No, I was watching them make the drink because they actually took my friend's order before me, and so then they felt bad that they served him first, so they poured mine a double. So it was like a double
So it was
Don
double
Julio.
nasty.
Yeah, exactly.
double McNasty.
All right, so back to the wines here. It's Arizona Wine Month. March was official Arizona Wine Month, the governor, and we, our Richard Betts
And
here.
it ain't over yet.
Yeah, our Richard
Ain't
Betts
over
here
yet.
was the judge for this
A judge.
Governor's Cup,
124.
and we were able to taste all these wines. And let's sing about our favorites. Because we're saving the planet.
One
One
shot
shot
at
at
a
a
time.
time.
Drink local.
Well,
Easy
we're
wine.
drinking some local wine,
One at a time.
and we've all agreed that it's pretty tasty. I guess it tastes just fine.
Arizona
Oh,
wine.
I know this song.
Don't fill our mailbox with spam, cause we like all these wines.
Arizona
But
wine. It's
Kinga's
fine.
favorite was from a winemaker
Sam
named
Pillsbury.
Sam.
And Chet's too.
I am surprised that Chet agreed with you.
Have another sip of it.
I think it's the first time it's happened that I have viewed.
How about Los Millets?
Los Millets is very hard to rhyme, so I'm not gonna. But I will drink it.
He'll kill it.
How about, can you sing this?
1764.
1764.
Well,
Shut the door.
So drinking some 1764.
Oh yeah. Hell of a year.
It won the award.
It won.
Some very old wine.
Yes.
That's not the vintage, okay?
Because it'd be a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
The Sam Pillsbury wine,
And it
best
might
in class.
taste good.
So get your ass to the store and buy it.
Because with 142 cases, it might not be on the shelves very long.
Is it 148 cases?
I wasn't paying attention. I just knew it was 104 to something.